This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 3rd day of February in the year 2026. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. In a presentation that was punctuated by loud and repeated heckling from the government benches in the National Assembly today, Member of Parliament for the We Invest in Nationhood Party and former executive of Guyana, Vishnu Pandey, slammed both the People's National Congress reform and the governing People's Progressive Party Civic for ruining the sugar industry and running it into the ground, in his opinion. Pandey left no stone unturned when he dived into the history of the sugar industry and its struggle for survival. But firing back at MP Pandey, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa said the sugar industry was plagued by the Pandey syndrome. From the onset, MP Pandey told the House that prior to the nationalization, the sugar industry produced 362,000 tons of sugar. The industry was nationalized back in 1976, and according to Pandey, by 1990, the sugar industry reached an all-time low, producing just 90,000 tons of sugar annually. He said the destruction of the sugar industry did not stop there. It was explained that following the takeover of Booker Tate in 1990, the sugar industry rebounded with production increasing to 331,000 tons of sugar. However, MP Pandey said once the People's Progressive Party civic government took over the management of Guyana, sugar production again fell.
Like the PNC, the PPP took over the industry. They flooded the industry with party loyalists. And from that 331,000 tons of sugar produced, you know where we are, Mr. Speaker? We produced in 2020, 88,000 tons. In 2021, 58,000 tons, 30,000 tons dropped immediately. And if that was not disgraceful, in the year 2022, we produced 47,000 tons of sugar.
He said it was not until his return to the Guyana Sugar Corporation that production went up in 2023 to 60,000 tons. MP Pandey said since then the sugar industry has experienced real devastation at the hands of the current government, which he said is bent on hiring party loyalists who continue to mismanage the industry and waste taxpayers' money.
People who never run a cake shop was placed to run the most complex industry, not only in Guyana, but the entire Caribbean. The writing is on the wall when that happens. When you place people not with merit, but with other belief and other reasons, the end result is utter destruction. And that's known.
He also made claims that there was cane being illegally brought into the country from Brazil. But the Minister of Agriculture, Zulfikar Mustafa, fired back and told the National Assembly that what was common between the two governments was the Pandey syndrome.
And I want to thank the Honorable Member, Honorable Vishnu Pandey, that the APNU PNC plus the PPP Civic destroyed the industry. But there was one common factor, the Pandey syndrome. The Pandey syndrome. Pandey was working under the PNCR in Guyana, and he worked under the PPP Civic, and he destroyed the corporation.
He said while the opposition MP portrayed himself as a champion of accountability, he must be honest about his time at the sugar company.
The agriculture, the honorable member, was the agriculture director of Guyana, and his performance was far below par. Under his tenure, Mr. Speaker, Guyana recorded the lowest production in the history of the corporation. 6,700 tons. And Mr. Speaker, if that is not all, because of his incompetence, because of his below par performance, the honorable member was dismissed from Guyana because of poor performance. This is his dismissal letter. I will lay it over to the House.
But jumping to his feet on a point of order, MP Pandey told the Speaker that he was never dismissed from the Sugar Corporation. But while initially maintaining that the MP was dismissed, Minister Mustafa later told the House that MP Pandey's contract was not renewed by the corporation in 2024. The Agriculture Minister said notwithstanding the critics, sugar production increased last year by 26%, although it did not meet the target. More news coming up in just a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. It can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Celebrate with us at Courts. We have what you need at the biggest season sale. Save with great deals and huge savings on select items store-wide. Get unbeatable values on TVs, new arrivals in furniture. Save on select bedroom sets, large appliances, free gifts, and much more. Shop now, pay later. Get huge savings this season. Only at Courts. Bringing value home. Offers end February 28th, 2026. Conditions apply.
Gospel Fest Guyana 2026. Abnormal Praise. Keeping it loud. Match night. National Exhibition Center. 6:30 p.m. Join us for an unforgettable night of praise and worship. Featuring Prince Sam.
Christian in the place. Holy Spirit light the fire, make it blaze.
DJ Nicholas.
Cut it off. Anything I try this trap, you for cut it off.
Samuel Midas.
Excited to call your name. I can't be the only one who's a Christian and unashamed.
Sean Daniel.
Question: who started the wailing thing? Who started the wailing thing?
Faith Korika, Solid Youth, and several other outstanding ministers. This is the event you can't miss. Bring something to weigh. Tickets available now. Check social media for all ticket outlets. Gospel Fest 2026. Mash Night. National Exhibition Center. Keeping it loud.
With rising criticism over his restrictions on media access to the National Assembly, Speaker Manzoor Nadir today challenged APNU Member of Parliament Sherrod Duncan to bring a motion to the House and have it debated on the issue. At the start of his debate presentation, MP Duncan raised the issue of the limitations and restrictions that have been placed on media houses with regard to their access to the National Assembly to provide coverage of the 13th Parliament. The Speaker quickly interjected and turned to the standing orders to point out that it is the Speaker who grants permission to the representatives of any media house to attend sittings of the National Assembly on the rules that the Assembly may make from time to time. Jumping to his feet, Nadir defended his decision on limiting access to the National Assembly to just 5 journalists and blocking cameras other than those belonging to the Department of Public Information from covering the sittings.
So you have an option. You can mislead persons who want to go down that road, or you can bring a motion. Until then, I will continue to ensure that the media, the private media, as well as the state media, have access. No one is being restricted from covering the proceedings of this House.
The Guyana Press Association has condemned the actions of the Speaker in restricting and limiting media access to the National Assembly. The association has also made its concerns known to the government and opposition, the diplomatic corps, and its international media partners. During his statement today, Nadir also erroneously stated that the Guyana Press Association has the responsibility on deciding who from the various media houses are allowed to take up the 5 available seats for the media. The Guyana Press Association has never had that responsibility. Senior media members have pointed out that the Speaker keeps making reference to an agreement that was in place during the COVID-19 pandemic when the 12th Parliament was opened back in 2020. There has been no other agreement since then on media accommodation in the Assembly, and Nadir has repeatedly dismissed the concerns of media entities and media workers about his new rules. A number of media workers also took to the Parliament's Facebook page last evening and this morning after a photo of empty chairs was posted with an accompanying statement from the Parliamentary Office, which sought to give the impression that the media members were not taking up the provided seats. Media workers who covered the Assembly on Monday made it clear that the post was dishonest, as the photograph was taken late last night when those who were present left the Assembly to file their reports. Now, with regards to the footage being provided to the media from the Department of Public Information cameras, the head of DPI has made it clear that the unit has no such responsibility when it comes to the Parliament and its contractual arrangements to provide technical assistance. The head of DPI, Edward Lane, said that the issue lies solely with the Parliament Office. Opposition members of Parliament Gordon Barker of the Wind Party and Coretta MacDonald of the APNU went head-to-head yesterday with the Education Minister Sonia Parag on budgetary allocations for the Education Ministry and the state of the education sector. MP Barker questioned the government's school feeding program and the quality of meals being provided to students. He said he believes the money being spent on that program ought to go directly to parents to assist them in preparing better quality meals for their children. He also called out the Education Ministry for not putting systems in place to ensure that long-standing issue of promotion of teachers is addressed.
Mr. Speaker, no education system can rise above the quality, morale, and stability of its teachers. Yet, when we examine allocations related to Teaching Service Commission, and teacher management, we observe a glaring silence on several critical issues, Mr. Speaker. Backlogs in promotions which hinder the pension and gratuity paid to teachers upon retirement.
For her part, APNU Member of Parliament Coretta MacDonald, who is also the president of the Guyana Teachers Union, noted that while the government's budget has been increasing annually, the budget for the education sector has been increasing by only 2%, while much work is still to be done in the sector.
Mr. Speaker, these numbers demonstrate that while education spending has increased in absolute terms, it has failed to keep pace with the growth of the national budget. The result is that education is not being prioritized, despite repeated claims to the contrary.
In response, Education Minister Sonia Parag said the government has been investing wisely in the sector and will continue to do so.
We have a 5-year plan, and every fiscal year we invest money in that space, ensure that we will be able to deliver on our policies and our programs, beginning with 2026 for the next 5 years. Mr. Speaker, she also commented on the budget, the budget of different years. Of course, they were wrong figures. All of the percentages were wrong. And this is the second largest budget. And it has always been the second largest budget because priority has always been placed on the education sector by the People's Progressive Party civic government.
But MP MacDonald also questioned the government's education infrastructure push, stating that many schools across the country, which were recently built and or rehabilitated by the government, are already facing challenges.
Mr. Speaker, with all the trillions and budget theme after budget theme, our children are still suffering. They are falling ill from eating stale food. Mr. Speaker, the state-of-the-art Brigham Secondary School 2 weeks ago was leaking to the point where it was competing with the majestic Kaichor Falls after heavy rainfall. Port Kaituma Primary, Mr. Speaker, the teachers and the parents staged a sit-in protest against the filthy state of the classroom. Quarantine comprehensive, no running water in that school, toilets could not be flushed, and no electricity in the grade 7 and 8 blocks. Yet we talk about putting people first.
The Education Minister, in response, admitted that while there are infrastructural challenges, mechanisms have been put in place to ensure that those challenges are rectified.
Now you have schools, you have infrastructure, and I'm standing here and I'm not going to deny that there are issues with the infrastructure. They have issues with the infrastructure. I'm not going to deny that. But here's what, Mr. Speaker. Once an issue is reported to us, we will go and fix it. Now, each one of us live in a home, and that home may have a broken cupboard, it might have a broken window, it may get a broken washroom, and it needs fixing. It is the same concept with a school and another building that may have 400 children in it or 300 children using it every day, and it needs maintenance. That is a fact. But we are willing to fix it, Mr. Speaker, and that's why allocations are in this budget and in the regional budget.
Minister Parag also stated that the Teaching Service Commission will soon be filling some 1,500 vacancies in the system, and teachers eligible for promotions will be promoted.
Get ready to step into the multiverse. It all goes down February 20th. Brought to you by Mixmaster Tony and powered by GTC. Featuring an international lineup. Added Rankin from St. Vincent, Barry Hype out of St. Lucia, Brandon Duke from Toronto, the Spaniard from Antigua, DJ Optimus from Trinidad, and a major home team representing Guyana. General admission is absolutely free, and for the ultimate experience, the all-inclusive VIP elevated area is just $150. Table packages, VIP bands, and merch are available now at the Port Salts event app. Just search the multiverse or message 620-4336. This is the multiverse. Same timeline, elevated experience.
I am a backpack and I'm ready. Rum in my backpack and I'm ready.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Member of Parliament for the Wind Party Natasha Singh believes that social services in Guyana are in a dire state and there is not enough in this year's budget to address the problem. Citing the IDB 2025 report, MP Singh said approximately 58% of Guyana's population continues to live in poverty, adding that the situation is compounded by a public services sector that is in a bad state. Turning her attention to the PAM's geriatric homes, which falls under the Ministry of Human Services, MP Singh told the story of a 78-year-old pensioner who she said died after falling through the floor of the facility because repairs were not carried out.
Mr. Speaker, the same minister at the same ministry for 5 years, and simple things like fixing the flooring of the facility could not get done. Poor pensioner died at
I'm here. She also said the Human Services Minister must take responsibility for the death of the pensioner. On the issue of pensioners and their pension payments, MP Singh said included in this year's budget is a $5,000 increase on the old age pension, which is simply not enough.
Mr. Speaker, that is equivalent to approximately $160 per day per pensioner. And that is how they say this budget is for the people. $160, Mr. Speaker? What do you think $160 can buy? It can't buy a pack of tennis roll because that is $400. It can't buy a small bottle of drinks because that is $260. When I look around the supermarket, Mr. Speaker, one pack of Dixie for $160. This is what the pensioner is getting on the increase in this $1 trillion budget. Mr. Speaker, in this oil-producing nation, we need to do better. I looked around and I thought about what the Minister Edgell is talking about. This is the budget for the people. $160 a day per pensioner. That is the travesty that we're dealing with.
She said while the budget provides for special development zones, it ignores the disaster zones in depressed communities, where families are living in abject poverty and are struggling to make ends meet every day.
I am pleading with the ministers to visit Parika Fasad, one of the communities right here in Georgetown, behind the Chinese embassy. Visit Port Kaituma waterfront. Mr. Speaker, when you go to Mabaruma and you see late in the evenings, the little children by the shop side, nowhere to go, nothing to eat or sleep in large numbers, it breaks your heart. Mr. Speaker, doesn't the Amerindians deserve the facilities just like the coastlanders? Where are the care facilities? The night and day care facilities for the Amerindian people. Mr. Speaker, our children deserve better.
The Wind Member of Parliament also spoke of the need to have more programs in place to address domestic violence, violence against women and girls, and financial support for women and children leaving abusive homes. In pushing back against the criticism, Human Services Minister Dr. Vindya Prasad told the House that the budget is a living people-centered blueprint that will improve the lives of citizens. Describing statements by MP Singh as fallacious, Minister Prasad said she will provide the House with a report on the demise of a pensioner who was a resident at the PAM's geriatric home.
It was unfortunate, but that resident passed away from cancer. Mr. Speaker, I am going to provide that report to you because people should not come here, misinform the public, and then leave this assembly. What are we really doing here?
She also said, contrary to the arguments put forward by her colleague on the opposite side of the House, the Ministry of Human Services has always responded to the needs of the Guyanese people.
If you look at the 78.3 billion budget that has been allocated to this ministry, 70 billion of that is going directly to the hands of the beneficiaries across the length and breadth of Guyana. 70 billion. The recipients of public assistance, permanent disability, and senior citizens. Mr. Speaker, we have seen the increase in the numbers of beneficiaries since this People's Progressive Party Civic took office. Look back at your record, it was dismal.
The government, she said, remains committed to the promise of increasing old age pension to $60,000 over a period of 5 years. The old age pension has been increased to $46,000 with the addition of a transportation grant of $20,000 per year. It was noted that through the Ministry of Human Services, women are being trained under the Women Innovation Investment Network program. The minister said already 21,000 women from across the 10 regions have been empowered in various fields. APNU Member of Parliament Nima Flubes says the country's cultural industry is being directly regulated by the government, which she noted has been shutting out talent and only working with persons who are close to the administration. While contributing to the 2026 budget debates yesterday, the Member of Parliament said the country's cultural industry is in a state of disarray, and the situation must be corrected if the sector is to thrive.
Culture is becoming more a state-controlled sector, rather than a means of developing the industry and empowering youths. This is compounded by the situation in which there is still no updated copyright legislation to protect creators. A simple, Mr. Speaker, simple Facebook upload checks for copyright. Many cultural practitioners have turned to the United States to secure copyright protection. This they must do, since we have seen repeatedly the PPPC government practice of using ideas and plagiarizing people's work without acknowledging the source.
She said creatives are being forced to toe the line while the government decides who they must work with and the type of work they must produce. She called for the establishment of the Heritage Commission so that all cultural players can have a say in the industry.
Government intrusion into culture is destroying the industry. When artists must please government, creativity suffers. Again, I repeat, when artists must please government, creativity suffers. It will require using people who work in this industry and have a passion and years of experience to make things happen. Mr. Speaker, putting people first in culture can contribute to growth and development in the economy. When we can have exportable services, place branding, all of these approaches can help to make culture contribute to the growth of this economy.
While not directly responding to the opposition Member of Parliament, Minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, Stephen Jacobs, said the government continues to invest in culture, youth and sport. He said criticism of the sector must be grounded in facts, as many of the criticism may not reflect the reality on the ground.
And Mr. Speaker, you look at the numbers. You look at the numbers, Mr. Speaker. Over 130 regional and international events hosted in Guyana. So what is going to happen in 2026? We're going to surpass that because we'll have the necessary facilities. And that is what happens when you work hard for Guyana to become a sporting destination.
And the minister also spoke about the number of sporting grounds that are being upgraded by the government around the country. He said the government is making sport accessible to all.
Mr. Speaker, if they don't like the upgrades of the community grounds, Mr. Speaker, let them tell the people that they don't like it. Because when somebody at charity switch on that light to play in the night, or somebody at whim turn on that light to play cricket tonight, or somebody at Golden Grove turn on that light to play football or basketball, tell them that we should not upgrade those grounds, Mr. Speaker.
According to Minister Jacobs, the government is also looking to host a number of cultural and sporting activities here this year and will be upgrading and building out new facilities. President Irfan Ali this morning said the country's unemployment rate has been significantly reduced during a 4-year period between 2020 and 2024 and continues to be on the decline. In a live Facebook broadcast, the president said while it is now easier for persons to find jobs, he is particularly pleased with the reduction of the unemployment rate among women and youth. He said government policies in several areas are lending to the development.
So first of all, the fact. What is a fact? The fact is our unemployment reduced by more than 50% between 2020 and 2024. Now, what is also important is a reduction of our female unemployment rate. Our female unemployment rate reduced from 14.4% to less than 9%. Again, these are the facts as supported in the recent statistical bulletin of the Bureau of Statistics.
The president said according to statistics, more than 104,000 new persons gained employment over the past 4 years. He pointed out that the unemployment rate is also fairly balanced across the regions, which he says means that jobs are being created throughout the country.
The persons employed moved from 264,000 to almost 370,000 in the last quarter of 2024. That is more persons in the labor force because there are more jobs available, because the economy is growing.
Additionally, President Ali said the earnings across various sectors have also increased and continues to attract a number of people.
The average earnings across the major sector also grew exponentially between the first quarter of 2020 and the fourth quarter of 2024. So it's not just that employment has improved. The average earnings across every sector has also improved drastically.
According to the president, while unemployment still exists, there is the issue of people not wanting to take up certain jobs. He noted, however, that no other economy is more diversified and has seen growth like Guyana continues to experience.
Ready to position your brand at the heart of the region's most influential energy event? The Guyana Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo invites you to become a sponsor and connect directly with leaders shaping the future of energy and industry. Choose from 4 powerful tiers: Platinum, Diamond, Gold, and Silver. As a sponsor, your brand takes center stage, from live press conferences and magazine features to exclusive speaking opportunities and top-tier visibility across every major platform. Enjoy premium exhibition booths, media coverage, and access to hundreds of industry professionals and decision makers. Whether you want to lead discussions, host networking events, or elevate your brand presence, sponsorship puts your company at the forefront of opportunity and innovation.
First-time homeowner, ready to build a dream house but worried about getting your plans approved? The single window planning approval system makes it easy. One application, one online platform, faster, simpler house plan approval. Visit our website to kickstart the process at singlewindow.chpa.gov.gy. No running around, no confusion, just clear steps and efficient service, all in one place. Apply, track, and get approved with confidence. The single window system helping first-time homeowners move from planning to building the smart way. Single window planning approval system. Designed for transparency, built for convenience.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. Citrus punch, fruit punch, tastes nice. Guava, pineapple, that give me a vibe. We no want nothing less compared to the rest. Fruitopia the best, quenching the thirst when it comes to the test. Perfect thing for my lunch, flavors pack a punch. Fruitopia, Fruitopia, it's a drink that's hype. It's citrus punch, fruit punch, tastes nice. Fruitopia, the drink that rocks your lunchtime.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. From next Monday, consumers will pay more for a bag of cement after Trinidad Cement Limited announced a 15% price increase, citing higher production costs after an increase in natural gas prices for manufacturers. This marks the sixth consecutive year that TCL has raised its prices. The last increase took effect on February 17 last year. TCL, in a statement to customers on Monday, said while TCL remains deeply concerned about the broader impact of the gas prices on businesses and users and the construction sector, it necessitates the 15% price adjustment, effective February 9, 2026, on SACs. It said TCL remains firmly committed to maintaining its operations in the country, supporting more than 350 direct employees and over 400 local contractors and suppliers, and continuing its contribution to the economy as a leading foreign exchange generator, with exports expected to exceed US $40 million in 2026. A federal judge today blocked the Trump administration from revoking legal protections for more than 350,000 Haitians in the U.S., preventing their potential deportation to a country that has been ravaged by gang violence, according to Reuters. A district judge in Washington, D.C., halted the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's effort to terminate Haiti's temporary protected status. The move would have taken effect on Wednesday, despite spiraling violence there that has displaced more than 1.4 million people. The judge, who was appointed by the Democratic former President Joe Biden, issued a ruling in a class action lawsuit brought by Haitians seeking to stop the administration from exposing them to deportation by ending their legal status. The judge ruled that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem likely violated the procedures required to terminate the protected status of Haitian immigrants in the U.S., as well as the U.S. Constitution's Fifth Amendment guaranteed of equal protection under the law. And finally tonight, international news. Russia has used a record number of ballistic missiles to target Ukraine's energy sector, President Volodymyr Zelensky has said. According to the BBC, the combined missile and drone strikes hit power plants and infrastructure in Kiev and multiple locations, causing the most powerful blow so far this year. The strikes were launched as temperatures fell and left more than 1,000 tower blocks in the capital without heating once again, and damaged a power plant in the eastern city of Kharkiv beyond repair. Zelensky said Russia was choosing terror and escalation rather than diplomacy to end this war, and called for maximum pressure on Moscow from Ukraine's allies. The attack comes after a so-called energy truce agreed by Donald Trump with Vladimir Putin expired at the weekend. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.